interesting in a way that it's a collaboration of all the universities of applied sciences here in Finland. Together we are trying to forecast what's the future of cultural manager and what kind of trends are influencing the future we will have. But I think even more importantly, we are doing this together. It's very important to have the whole education sector thinking together what will be the future of a training be like. And at the same time we make profiles and try to see that we are not doing similar training at all the places but have our unique specialities in a small country like Finland. I find it very interesting and very important. Our project is co-financed by European Social Fund, and it's going to be for 1 more year. It's been now 2 years now. I've been doing forecasting projects quite a long time, and I'm very familiar with internet questionnaires and interviews and all this. But really when I started with this project, I thought it's really boring to go and ask everybody, like, so what is it going to be like? And all the directors will tell it the same kind of political jargon they're supposed to tell. So this time we decided to put our students in the center of forecasting. We think they are really the ones who make the future and who really must have the kind of the greatest saying on what will be the future. And we have collected signals, which means a future signal is something you just notice that, oh, this is different than yesterday. Just little signs around the city. And then we have been doing digitales. It's a format of making a small science fiction future movies. And in those movies, the kind of the end result is not really what matters, but really the process and the arguments on what will be the future like, how they decide the way the movie is made, that will tell about the day in 2020. The competencies of a cultural manager is a very, very wide thing. I think in kind of 5 years ago still, in Finland we were discussing a lot about multitasking and all kinds of managers being able to doing movie night one day and the next day hop into doing poetry and next day creating a show. But I think that the professionalism in the area is growing and going fast further, and therefore we have more specialized managers in the future. The Metropolia University that I come from is really focused very strongly on the business side. So most of our graduates go and work in advertisement agents and even management firms and companies. And that's really the key in our education. But I find that the competencies in different several areas, they vary very much. But of course, the basic core is the capability of doing an artistic project, managing it kind of cost effectively. Most of our kind of forecasting is about the consumers. I think that you can't do anything if you really don't know what the consumer like, and therefore we have focused strongly on the trends in there. They want you to use multi-senses. You have to hear the visual arts and smell the music, and you have to have all kinds of senses at the same time feeded so that you feel kind of a whole experience when you experience something. Obviously the age pyramid in Finland is going older and older, and we have a lot of senior citizens that will be a kind of a big demanding audience for the culture. Then the culture is more marketed, it's more commercial than before, and the kind of the public sector institutions are really rapidly changing. They are not talking about art for art's sake that much anymore. They're talking about art for economic growth, art for employment purposes, and so on. And that really challenges the managers to combine the artistic and commercial aims. Well, it is already a very big part in our life. I think that the public sector is really here to stay. I'm not one of those who think that it will collapse totally, but it will transfer into something else. I think it's not a kind of basically doing everything by itself, employing people for pension kind of salary type of thing. They are more buying content. They are giving you a place, a platform, but then the private companies, the private small actors will be the ones who really do the artwork. And I see that as the main trend in the public sector. But at the same time, the smaller firms are seeing public sector as just one client, not even a very wealthy client actually. And for them, the infrastructure and how to pay for their work is totally different. Public sector might be one client, but it's more and more about direct interaction with the consumers, and at the same time serving bigger companies that use art, like for example in event marketing. I suppose, of course, the financial challenge is always present. We keep on discussing it every day. But I think somehow deeper inside, the bigger challenge is combining the ethics of art world that you're supposed to do for art for art's sake, and combining it with the ethics of business world and ethics of the consumer who just wants to have something enjoyable, fast, kind of this quick and dirty economy. And combining these two is really the core of an arts manager in trying to profile and be kind of respected person in the art fields.